But
I mean,
the Lakers do
I'm
have a
not.
good team though.
Yeah, thank God we finally, got someone that we can build around in the future. Because
I'm
I know
I,
Anthony Davis was not that. No
I
disrespect to him, but
I'm not gonna
he
front.
is not a guy that you build around. He's a beta all-star. He's not an alpha. But
Whoa, that's
Whoa.
that. Whoa.
I said it. He is a beta all-star.
You can't say beta. You can't say beta with
Wow.
Anthony Davis. You can't
The
say beta.
the thoughts
Ooh.
and opinions of Noodles does not represent
But I
Unfiltered
mean,
Pineapple Podcast.
well, let me ask
Nor
this.
minds.
Let
Wow,
me ask
that's
this: if you would.
that 100% is popular right now in the whole.
I mean, bro. I mean, that's not deadbeat to me. I mean, deadbeat be like, that's not my kid. He at least admits it. He's like, hey, look, I ain't got time for him. So
You
here's
know what?
1.8.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's just talk about the day's life of sports and even we could talk about the what's that FS1 girl.
Oh,
You
Joy
talking
Taylor?
about Joy Taylor?
Joy
Yeah.
Taylor too. This is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be crazy. I already know. All right, so it's going. All right, what's everybody? All right, so everybody's going from Noodles. Brandon, what you're going as? Just Brandon, right?
Yes, it's always been. However you want to name me.
All right, short, light skinned man.
All right. Overly aggressive, black bearded man.
Fuck you. Who wants to do the intro? You want me to bring it in?
Do the
All
roar.
right.
All right, no, let's go ahead and do it. Oh, bet. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Unfiltered Pineapple Podcast. We got Brandon, Miles, myself, and Noodles. What's up, guys?
Howdy. What's going on?
Shoot, hey, today we're gonna get ourselves into we might get ourselves into some trouble and some controversy right here.
You know what's not what's up is the Bengals. That's what's not up.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. All right, you know, Patriots. Who's y'all's quarterback?
He is not as good as yours, but at the same time, we didn't spend about 150 mil on 3 players, so I think we're doing all right.
See, listen, the Bengals knew for a fact if we didn't have a good wide receiver core, Joe Burrow would 100% ask for a trade and go to any team and make that team 10 times better. Now, our defense will suck because we have no more money. We have zero money left. We will look you in the face and say, we can give you a cheeseburger and some fries for the season. But at the end of the day, we're better than the New England Patriots, which Brandon is Brandon's team.
Well, I mean, honestly, are we? We beat y'all last year, so let's talk about that real quick. Our team was trash, and we still beat y'all with that great dynamic offense you had. So if you really want to go there, but I'm just saying, we won last time. Week 1 against the Bengals, against the really bad Patriots. We still whooped that ass. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? Did the Green Bay Packers make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, and then we lost to the Super Bowl champs.
Okay, all right. I remember. You know, I had
because you know 90% of are on rookie 4-year contracts, but you know.
I'm not going front. Out of the Green Bay Packers, y'all got a winner with Jordan Love.
Well, need to get a wide receiver first, but yeah.
Shoot,
I don't think they do.
Who's y'all's wide receiver core? It's Watson. No, Watson.
You got Watson. You got Reed. You got
They have a better wide receiver core than we do.
Romeo Dobbs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, y'all definitely have y'all got some big name people. But will y'all go back?
And if you count McCall Hartman now, that's probably our number 1 receiver now.
No, stop it.
Wait, who?
He's not your number 1.
No.
No,
Oh yeah, no,
stop.
I know. I know that's a joke.
I'm about to say it's either Dobbs or Christian Watson. Watkins for y'all.
I don't know though. I think Reed's probably going to be it once he gets more experience. He's kind of our more reliable one, but I mean, you know,
Reed,
it'll all come, in the next like 2 or 3 years. So
when did y'all get Reed?
we got him not last year, but the year before.
And he was Reed from the Saints?
No. We drafted him. He was from Michigan State.
Okay, I'm thinking about a different Reed. I was like, why does that Reed sound familiar? There has to be a Reed for the Saints that I think he was on my fantasy. That's the only reason. Yeah, okay, yeah.
We don't want to talk about your fantasy football either, bro. We know you're trash.
Man, see, this is why we need to have a fantasy, because I'm not gonna front. I do want to. All right, this is definitely gonna turn to a tangent. I beat everybody in this podcast in fantasy, but what I want to do.
Didn't beat me last time.
I don't think we ever had a fan.
We did, and you got cooked.
I don't think so.
Hey, just like the Bengals didn't lose the Patriots last year. I don't think so.
What?
Yeah, keep going, bro.
The Bengals disrespect is not going to be tolerated.
Well,
what respect is there? How many championships do they have again? Okay, keep going.
It don't matter. We got
that damn defense y'all had last year. I mean, y'all kind of deserve that disrespect. They were non-existent.
See, our defense, I blame coaching on our defense. Our players are good, and I'm not being a Bengals like try hard to save them, but we got some good players, and when they good, they have some money. Say that again.
Hi, Joe. I'm your defense.
Oh my God! All right, see. You ain't need to bring that up, all right? You know what? Them boys still, if I see them, we're going to have to fight. them light-skinned twins, I swear.
Lord.
But what I was saying was we really need to do more about connecting the fan base and in the community of, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this. We need to start a fantasy with a WNBA. Because that's the only way I can see us actually bringing WNBA to the limelight. And I know
this what? Break it down. What are you trying to say?
Every time I've seen fantasy football, I'm like, oh, you can do fantasy and other stuff. Like you can do fantasy in NASCAR, you can do fantasy in baseball, basketball. I was like, why don't we start having more people do fantasy in WNBA? It gives us a reason to watch it more. See, and this right here is why we don't have it, because we got people that are like, you know what, man, I ain't watching no goddamn layups. I ain't watching no goddamn.
All right. I got you. How many women's sports do you watch? Okay, enough said. Like I was saying before, there's no offense to it. It's just that if women were more interested in it, it'd be the highest selling sport ever. If women weren't interested in watching their own sport, it's nothing against that, and it's not. I have an interest of
college women. Sports is the shit. Like that's really what it is. No, what?
No, it's not. Look, listen. I got the statistics right now. Last year's finals with Caitlin Clark, the only reason was 14.2 million. This year it dropped down to 4.1.
I hear.
You need stars. They don't have stars. They don't have any entertaining play. They just like Caitlin Clark because she's similar to Steph Curry in the way she plays. Other than that, they don't have any people that can dunk. They don't have any aggressive, dynamic plays that's like the NBA. There's nothing against the WNBA. I have nothing against it at all. Women's sports is great, but it's just not entertaining.
I want more people to be able to.
That and like the NBA or the WNBA legends that we knew, quote unquote, for the past like 20 years, they're finally not retiring. So there's really no one in the WNBA now other than Candace Parker, or not Candace Parker anymore. She retired. So yeah, it's literally Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and that's it.
And the crazy thing is, like, Angel Reese ain't even in the league no more. Angel Reese is in like the 3-on-3 league. I don't even think she plays
What?
like that. Yeah, I don't even think she's in the WNBA anymore.
No, I think she's on there.
I gotta check that, bro. I don't know about that one. Give me a second.
No,
You go
I
ahead.
swear. I don't think she. I'm pretty sure she was like, I'm leaving the WNBA and going to some other league. And I saw her playing basketball in 3-on-3. I was like, what the world is she not playing in the?
Is it just for like recreational, or because
It could
I
be
don't
pay.
remember? Huh?
It could
That's
be
what
pay. So, what's her name? Brittany Griner. She was in Russia for the pay, and that's what got her caught up. No,
Mhm.
she's still the WNBA, man. She's still part of the Chicago Sky.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
like,
about to say,
she on a
but
3-on-3 team? I was like, she ain't play. I guess you can play both then. All right. I was like,
They
what?
don't get paid enough. It's not like the NBA. So like, imagine like the NBA stars like during their off time, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna go play in the Euro League to get some extra pay. The NBA won't allow you to, but in the WNBA, because they don't pay them as much, and they really have a hard time even filling up the seats with advertisement and all that. That's why they allowed them to go in different leagues and make money. So
yeah, because I
once
mean, like,
again,
there's people from the damn Department of Transportation, like probably higher up, that make more than the WNBA players. So
they do, but that's also because they have two different leagues. So they're part of the WNBA and the NBA because WNBA uses the same courts as the NBA.
well, yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, but
See,
everyone's gonna.
I wanted to be more popular for people to be able to be like, yeah, we're following the WNBA like we'd follow the NBA. Now, I don't think there's anybody in the WNBA that's getting as much attention as the NBA players because honestly, most WNBA players they ain't in that drama type shit. But
It's not just that. I'm just saying, just for NBA though, like you're gonna see more dunks, you're gonna see more crazy crossovers. And then men are more inclined to watch sports than women are.
true, and I enjoy
it's
watching
not
the fundamentals of the WNBA instead of watching like the NBA because it's after a while it's like, man, I'm seeing a whole lot of. I see the fundamentals clearer in the WNBA than the I just see brothers balling in the NBA. That like simply like, listen, this is just straight athletics. Some of them WNBA girls, I'm like, man, you gotta sit down and break somebody down and just to get by. That's where for me, I'm like, all right, this is teachable watching moments.
well, there's
NBA,
a problem in the NBA as well. So the problem with the NBA is that people are shooting too much threes. A lot of fans aren't really interested in people just running up the court and just dropping a three. It's not very dynamic. It's not very entertaining as it used to be because everybody thinks they're Steph Curry.
That's what I was just about to ask too. I'm like, can we agree that the quality of the NBA is actually like way worse than it was like, say like even like 14, 15 years ago?
But when you have players that can literally make half court shots with almost 50% or more, I'm like y'all. Eventually, y'all go. You got to make the court longer?
Yeah. Well,
No, I think you just need to balance things out. Like if you made dunks worth more points, that'd be more entertaining.
Oh,
yeah.
And incentivize the league to play a little bit more. So now people are going to do dunks, and dunks aren't easy. They're not easy. So
yeah,
I'm not going to. So how would y'all? Go ahead, Noodles.
Well, I gotta say, one thing I would like for to happen with the NBA is be more physical like it used to be, like before, because there's literally no defense. You can't do hand checks anymore, so it's like it's literally just play zone and just hope for the best. And I'm not saying I don't like today's NBA, but I mean, I just miss the days where, I used to be able to watch centers, battle in the post and, do fake moves. And now, shit, I remember when, centers couldn't even shoot threes. Now there's some that are even out shooting point guards and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. I agree. I want somebody going to the paint, get clothesline and be like, all right, that's your one goddamn strong hit for the game, but at least we got
that's flagrant.
You should be able to say, hey, listen, you can get one flagrant foul per team.
You
per
like
game.
football too much. You like football too much.
Shoot, I need somebody.
That or he likes 70s NBA.
I do like the 70s NBA. I like shooting someone out here get clothesline and like, hey, listen, you gonna think twice before coming to this rim. Just that intimidation, just a little bit. Because there's players in the league now that, first of all, we wouldn't have a Wemby. I don't care what anybody say. We ain't having no 7 foot tall, 19, 20-year-old coming into the paint knowing he about to get beat up by somebody like that's as
Kareem.
Strong as Draymond Green or goddamn LeBron.
Kareem.
But you look at Kareem, he motherfucking killed the hook shot.
And then
that man's
he worked it though.
Before he got that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even when he went to the rim, he still could have got grabbed up on. He could have got like sent to the ground hard. And when you that tall and lengthy, yeah, you hit the ground. You'll rethink that the next time you come down the court.
I mean, he still did it. I mean,
and
he still got 6 rings.
Yeah, I ain't gonna act like he didn't. I'm not acting like he did it, but the fans got to see that. They got to see that. Okay, all right, like, is he gonna try that again if he gets pushed?
But what you're introducing though is a league where they're just gonna shoot more threes. If I'm gonna run up on the court and I'm trying to dunk and somebody just clips my legs out, I'm not gonna dunk anymore. I'm just gonna start Steph Currying it the whole game. That's what I would do. Just saying. Pass the ball, shoot a 3. Why would I go to the paint if I know I'm getting knocked out?
Yeah.
Well, that and I mean, I guess a counter could just be allow more perimeter contact and bring back hand checks. I mean, that can probably balance things out too. But
or we get stretched the 3-point line.
Nah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the NFL and NBA are more offense friendly. Nowadays, that's what gets the crowds. That's what unfortunately they want to see. At least the newer fans. There's not a lot of fans like like us back in the day where we value defense.
Yeah,
I missed the Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's where it's like even back in the day, I know for a fact you playing against somebody like a Wilt Chamberlain, a freaking Kareem, like them 7-foot dudes are where like, listen, you gotta hit, you gotta bump, you gotta hit, you gotta really like nowadays somebody that's like who's a big dunker, who's like someone who like Anthony Edwards right now he's probably the most athletic player in the league and just dunk. I'd say he's the next Vince Carter.
That's not true.
I don't know if he's over. I don't know if he's more athletic than Giannis. I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
Zach LaVine's a better dunker.
Who?
Zach LaVine, the dude that won the dunk contest back to back.
The white boy that's in the G League.
Zach LaVine, he's on the Sacramento Kings, bro. He's a really good dunker. He's a shooting guard.
See,
he beat Aaron Gordon in the dunk contest multiple times.
Even though I think Aaron Gordon should have took the first one, but that's just me.
Didn't
but you know what I'm saying though?
Didn't he just lose to the G League dude?
No,
I swear this recent one he lost to the G League dude. I'm pretty sure.
You talking about Matt McClung?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he will lost because I watched the dunk contest this year, and I swear I can't remember.
I can look it up. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either Zach lost this dunk contest this year, but I'm pretty sure Burrow lost, or he was not the he did not win. What was like that's I'm not, still Anthony Edwards is probably, in my opinion, from watching every game that's put on ESPN Plus, that man can dunk almost at will whenever the hell he wants to.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
So he didn't go against anybody that was like a previous dunk champion. So no, that's not the case. He just went against a dude I don't know who scored 3 points. Andre Jackson Jr. He also went against a guy that scored 8 points. Matez Buzil, and then Stephon Castle from the Spurs. That's the only people he went against. Nobody else that's like a real dunker he really beat. So I don't know.
You talking about Matt?
Yeah, Matt didn't really go against real competition like that.
Man, I'm not
I mean, there's no like big stars that are doing it anymore.
Yeah, and the big thing is we could have freaking LeBron doing a dunk contest. We could have a freaking Anthony Edwards doing
never
a dunk
doing it.
contest. And
that's not in this.
That right there is one of the reasons why I'm pretty sure I've people have had this argument and conversation. That's one of the reasons why LeBron, in my opinion, ain't the GOAT. If he ain't gonna do a gun, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. That's one of the reasons why I would never in my life say LeBron is the best player of all time. You know, best players of all time, they want to show their stuff, and LeBron's like, nah, I'm too good for a dunk contest.
I agree that LeBron. Well, I agree that LeBron is not the GOAT, but not necessarily for that reason. Say.
Well,
devil's advocate with that statement, just saying, LeBron James, not saying that I believe he is the GOAT or not. I'm just saying the dude is the highest scoring person in the league ever, has a scoring title, correct? He also has, 4 championships? And against those, he played against really stiff competition, harder than most people in the league, against the Warriors with KD and Steph Curry, right? He also went against a team with Dirk. He also lost to Tim Duncan a few times. Like, it's not like he lost any scrubs. I think the reason why you would consider LeBron the GOAT is because he didn't win in the clutch times. I would say if you're talking clutchness, it's Jordan, hands down. There's no question. But as far as a career, LeBron's up there.
He's definitely top. Honestly, he's top 3, and I don't think that's disrespect because
that's not that's
the only 2 players that I really consider that are over LeBron is one of course Jordan. That's just easy. But
that's easy.
Even though he broke his record, I still don't think all-time great. I don't think he's above Kareem still. That's just me personally.
I say so, and here's the reason why. Who did Kareem play with? He played with Magic, who's another top 15 all-time player of all time, right? They got him 5 championships there. He also played Big O. Name a big player that LeBron's went that compares to Scottie Pippen or Magic.
You got Dwayne Wade. He's another all-time great.
Especially, but he's not top 15.
I would say he's close. Like he's the third best shooting guard.
Yeah.
Kyrie's like probably the best handler of all time, without a doubt.
See, you know what? The one thing you can say about all these people, one thing you can say about all these people, they participated in the dunk contest.
Oh my God,
LeBron did.
But
that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. LeBron for me, like I'll give him top 3. But he's never gonna be the GOAT of the GOAT of the GOAT unless he does something crazy. And then if he does it the day before he retires, he does a dunk contest. I'll be like, you cheated.
He can't.
Us.
He's old.
You cheated us out of prime time LeBron James dunking. He cheated.
If LeBron went to championship though this year or next, he's up there. He's in the debate for GOAT status because you've never seen a 4-year-old win a championship like that and be the key factor of the team.
He's not, and I know for a fact if he goes to the championship this year, he's pulling his son up, and his son's gonna get a ring.
I know. Well, they're not winning it. First off, go Celtics. But yeah,
I agree. Go Celtics.
But the Lakers do have a good team though.
Yeah, thank God we finally got someone that we can build around in the future. Because I know Anthony Davis was not that. No disrespect to him, but
I'm not going front.
He is not a guy that you build around. He's a beta all-star. He's not an alpha.
Whoa, that's that. Whoa.
I said he is a beta all-star.
You can't say beta. You can't say beta with Anthony Davis. You can't say beta.
The thoughts and opinions of Noodles does not represent
But
podcast.
Well, let me ask
Nor
this.
mine.
Wow. Let me ask this: if you had to build around the team right now, and you had to choose either Anthony Davis at his age now, or Luka Doncic right now, who are you choosing? I mean, it should be easy.
Yeah, but I'm not. It doesn't mean that Anthony Davis isn't a alpha player. He's probably still the league's best power forward.
That's debatable.
Yes, 100%. He's definitely one of the best. But to say he's a mate,
I'm saying now. If we were talking about if he was still like New Orleans, like Anthony Davis, then yeah, without a doubt, But at least as of right now, how he's playing and how injured he gets, no, I don't see that. And that's one main reason why we traded him, because he's just never available when we need him.
I mean, that was a heist anyway. Y'all should have never got what y'all got for that trade. That was a heist. Well, that's the biggest heist in sports history.
You can thank Nico Harrison for that.
And he's fired for a reason, because that is literally the greatest heist in
I know.
history.
Do y'all really think Nico's going to get fired?
I am 100% with you, because I kid you not, my face was in shock for 10 minutes straight when I saw that ESPN notification. I kid you not.
There's no way they're going to fire Nico after that, though.
He's already fired.
Wait, whoa. Since when? No.
Like a month ago. He got fired a month ago. Literally, as soon as Kyrie's knee went away, yeah, he got fired.
No, he was the one who did the trade for Anthony Davis and
a month ago.
No, he got fired. No, what? When
he got fired.
I'm mad I missed this then. I'm so mad I missed this. I totally. Oh my, what?
Yeah, he got fired I wouldn't say a month ago for sure. Yeah, he got fired as soon as Kyrie his knee got messed up. I mean, they're done now for sure. That was probably the worst move they could have ever done.
Yeah, and then and then it was just so funny watching Luka return to Dallas and just how he was just cowered in the fucking corner like he was.
No, Nico Harrison is. He's the manager.
Well, he's the president.
He's not there.
Yeah, no. He's still there. Okay. Yeah, he's still there. He's the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks. Woo!
I thought he got fired.
No. Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, that's fact checked. Yeah, he's still with them. Well, yeah, he should still be with them. But...
Yeah. I was about to say
I got fired.
Yeah, no, they were saying fire him because he made the call to trade Luka.
Yeah. Now, maybe you're thinking about the Nuggets because they just cleaned house not too long ago. They fired their general manager, their coach, and their assistant coach.
Yeah, that's what I was cool.
I was the playoffs, which is crazy, but.
Man, Randy, you had my heart bumping. I was like, ain't no way I missed this firing. This would have been the biggest news in the league. Gotcha.
How did he not get fired? That's the better question.
Because Mark Cuban's, I don't know if Mark Cuban even has the firing.
No, Mark Cuban doesn't own, well, at least he doesn't own the majority of the Mavericks anymore. He sold his majority a long time ago.
Yeah, I know for a fact.
I think he owns 5 or 10% of the Mavericks now.
Yeah, he's probably more just a face now. But
yeah. Well, if he's pissed too because he even said himself he never would have done that trade. But
yeah, and shoot, everybody would not shoot. You don't trade your 21-year-old or 20. How old is Luka?
26.
26. Okay, you don't trade a young kid in his 20s that's a baller.
For a 30-year-old power forward,
for a 30-year-old, what? And got injured almost the second game?
Yeah, he got his first game actually.
First game? Come on, yeah. Shoot, Nico need to go. But That's at the end of the day.
Yeah,
It's even crazier because they just went to the finals as well, and he led them there. So that's what the craziest part about it. Dude led them to a finals, and then they traded him the next year. Never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's funny because the person that they wanted to keep, that they did keep, Kyrie. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bum or anything, but he didn't really show up in the finals like Luka did.
I ain't go front. Kyrie's a freaking baller. Like Kyrie, even with the backlash of the whole, I really don't even really know the whole details, but the backlash he got.
Like, it might be controversial to say, but he is the greatest ball handler of all time. Like, and there's no disrespect to Allen Iverson, but Kyrie just did it like +1.
I agree. I agree. He's, in my opinion, he's the number one ball handler in the league of all time.
Yeah.
But
there's
no I don't think that we're disagreeing on that.
Yeah. So about enough about our NBA rants. NFL draft is coming up pretty soon.
Who's going number one?
Well, let's see. We got Tennessee, we got Cleveland, we got New York, New England.
No. Who do you think is getting picked up number one player wise?
Cam Ward.
You said Cam.
Like, logically, logically, it should be Cam Ward, but who I seriously think it's going to be is Travis Hunter. I think that's just my personal opinion.
If I'm the first draft pick holder, I'm not picking.
No, I know the Giants. I know the Giants just signed 2 quarterbacks, but if they do not choose a quarterback,
if you look at it though, the Titans don't have a good quarterback. Who's their quarterback again, Miles? Tell me, so I can laugh.
I don't know who the quarterback is. Is it the Mayo?
He
dude?
Likes Mayo. It's the Mayo man.
It is Mayo, dude. It's not Mitch Trubisky. What's his name? Dang, I'm blanking on Tennessee Titans quarterback.
Well,
that's why they're drafting Cam Ward.
Rudolph. I'll just save you the time. It's Will Levis / Mason Rudolph because that's who started for him last year. Yeah. So I mean, yes, they do need a quarterback, but I just have a feeling they are going to select Travis Hunter. But now I will say, I know New York just signed 2 quarterbacks, but if they do not at least select either Shedeur or Cam, if they're both available, then they're idiots.
Now, if Shedeur went first, I'm probably throwing the whole draft away.
There's no way. Cam Ward's ready to hire.
Yeah, I'm not going front. I throw the whole draft.
All
respect to Dion and all, but if Shedeur goes first, I promise you, I'm trying to.
Yeah, Cam Ward is clearly the better quarterback. I mean, I was even saying.
Go ahead, Noodles. My bad.
Oh no, you go. I was gonna say because even last year when everyone was on the Caleb Williams hype, I was like, nah, Jaden Daniels is gonna be the better quarterback, and that's kind of what proved it out. So I mean, just because you're a big name doesn't mean you're gonna be the best in your class. But yeah, Cam to me, I mean, I'm not taking any disrespect for Shedeur because he's still, he's great. He's probably better on the mobile side, but if you're talking about quarterback wise, Cam is way better. And the reason why no one talks about him is because he was on Miami.
I don't know if that's true. Because I mean, I would say Shedeur is more accurate too. But I mean, that's just me. But I don't think Shedeur would ever go to Tennessee. I don't think Dion's gonna let him go there. So the only team I can see him getting picked up on is the Giants because they're kind of what primetime likes to do.
If he is picked up on it, and if he is picked up on the Giants, he better not start over Russell. He better not.
I'm sorry, but I think. Well, I mean, I know Russell's probably going to start just because he's the veteran, but eventually they got to they got to stop signing all these average quarterbacks and actually build one up. I mean, I know they selected Daniel Jones, but
I don't think Daniel Jones was that bad. I'm gonna say this. I don't think Daniel Jones was that bad to get fired.
Huh?
No, and I don't think I do not think the Giants did the right thing to fire this man after
he resigned.
No.
Get benched and he resigned.
But did he deserve that money more than Saquon?
Hell no. And Saquon proved it with the Super Bowl.
Well, there we go. that was the reason. Like, I don't care. The reason why the Giants were as good as they were like 2 years ago was because of Saquon. I'm sorry, Daniel Jones is not. He is not a quarterback that should be a starter. Like that's he's too inaccurate. He can't throw the ball. The only thing he could probably do is run. But I mean, what's running going to get you if you can't fucking throw it?
Yeah, no. I still think the Giants had a quarterback with Daniel Jones. I understand him being released and stuff, but I still don't think he should have been released. I think that's for me. That's just coaching. He could have been coached, but also
no.
He could.
He chose the release, dude. He wanted to be released because he wanted to be benched for the whole season. That's why he chose to be released.
Bro,
and I mean, Brian DeBall is not. I wouldn't say he's a bum coach. He's pretty underrated, but you know.
And I'm not gonna front.
Daniel Jones is just. I mean, hell, even when they had fucking all these other coaches before too, and he still plays the same.
Yeah, shit. That's what. But right now,
he's not accurate. He can't throw. He can't throw the ball deep without overthrowing like by 10 or 20 yards. Like he's just. I'm sorry, he's terrible.
Right now,
I mean, what the GOAT of coaching say again? He said, "Coaches coach, players play." If you can coach a dude to do whatever you want to do and he still can't perform it, it's on the player.
All right,
and that's where for me, I'm like
Daniel Jones.
Looking at the quarterback room for the Giants right now, you got Russell, you got Jameis Winston, and you got Vivito, or what's his name?
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito. Like if you add Cam Ward or if you add the Shador Sanders to this team, to this quarterback room, like there's no way you put Shador over any of these dudes except for Jameis and maybe DeVito. But the thing is, DeVito's also like he's a dog. I'll give it to him. Like this boy know how to play.
So I would say with Russ, just to argue this out real quick, I don't think he should have started over on Fields last year, and that's why the Steelers didn't go to the playoffs.
You said what?
I think they should have kept playing Fields for the Steelers over Russell Wilson.
You think you should put Justin Fields over Russell Wilson to get him where?
No. When they were on the Steelers, last year, they should have never benched Fields for Russ. They would have went further. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna be crazy. Yeah, no. I see, as a Bengals fan, and I very, 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 very adamantly dislike the Steelers. Justin Fields is a dog, without question. Justin Fields relies on his athleticism instead of the game. And it shows, and the Steelers can't play that way. Especially when you got a wide receiver core like
they can. They can, though, because their defense. You can't take picks and crazy plays from Russ.
I don't say that again.
They were 5-1. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were balling out. They were balling out. But the thing is, I don't think that's what the league is looking for. The league is looking for someone that can like stick to the scheme, stick to the play, rely solely on the play call, and that's a Russell Wilson.
Time out. Wait a minute. So you're telling me right now that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson that use their athleticism to help win the game isn't a factor in this league?
I'm not even gonna act like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. They all stick to the scheme first. Justin Fields doesn't look like he does that because a lot of his plays when he's running, it looks like he's a run first, play second. No. We in this league, it's always been follow the plays, follow the coaching. Justin Fields looked like, yeah, I don't like this play, I'm gonna run. Lamar does the same thing, but Lamar still will run to get back open to still follow out on the play. It looked like with what's his name? What's Crash Out? What's Crash Out's name for the Steelers?
You talking about Pickens?
Pickens when
Pickens love Fields on the field.
Exactly. And guess why? They're both just straight, hey, let's just ball. That's not what the league is literally, hey, let's lock in to follow play schemes, because if you run this crazy ass route, like at the end of the day, you ain't playing football. You just playing backyard football.
Well, I mean, the Steelers weren't really set up to be a successful passing team last year. They relied on running game and defense. I mean,
yeah.
Fields was, I mean, while yes, he had the role, quote unquote, of a, field manager like type of thing, he still did his part. And I mean, he led them 5-1. Like, I think they should have just kept him the whole season, because, I mean, I'm not, no disrespect to Russ, but especially at his age now, like, he's slowly declining, and, he doesn't have that factor like he used to. Like after he left Seattle, I mean, it was kind of proven that he was more of a system quarterback per se, because after he lost the Legion of Boom, after he lost Marshawn Lynch, what highlights did you see of Russell Wilson at all?
No, he was still balling in Seattle. It was just the system was working around him. But like you said, once he went to like Denver, but Denver, they didn't really want Russ to begin with. They wanted Aaron Rodgers. But his second stint with the Broncos, it just proves that he was washed, because the rookie came in, Drew Lock, and he did what Russ couldn't do with that team.
Right. And then he goes to Pittsburgh, and I mean, granted, he did, keep them in contention, but I mean, most of their losses came with Russ at quarterback.
I 100% agree. I agree. I had to look at some stats, and
honestly, dude, I would say Shador's an upgrade over Russ. It's crazy to say that, but I would say though, because the way he handled with Colorado, because he barely had a line there, dude was literally working the pocket, and then he was throwing accurate passes to his team. Granted, some of it could have been skewed up because he had Travis Hunter, but he was still balling nonetheless.
Yeah.
I am nervous that Shador is going to be. This is going to be the first time, and this is I believe this 100%. This is going to be the first time Shador hasn't been coached from his father in a while. Now I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be completely like Deion is a legend. Deion's a Hall of Fame, but do you think that's going to affect his growth?
Not really. I mean, from what you've seen, like, especially in the big games that he had to step up in, Shador has a really good mentality, and I mean, he understands, what he needs to do. So I think the change of coach, and I don't think that's really going to affect him too much, to be honest. I mean, I got confidence he's still going to be, a top 10, like quarterback, probably even higher, in the next like 2 or 3 years. I mean, I just think that Cam, to me personally, is just a tiny bit better, and I think he's going to have a slightly better career. But that's just me. I mean, because he was, like I said, the reason why Cam doesn't get talked about as much as Shador, because he's in Miami compared to, Colorado. And,
I disagree. Colorado, I think it's just more or less between his dad being prime time. And that's why Shador's getting talked about. And that's why they're good. But I'll put it this way. Here's something that you might not see. Put money on this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe give it a few years. Crystal ball moment here. I see prime time actually coaching for the Giants. Dayball doesn't have much of a Dayball doesn't have a job much longer.
Bro,
if they're not winning a championship if they're not winning like in a playoff contending status in the next few years, that whole staff is getting fired, especially the general manager. After watching Hard Knocks and that man passing up on Saquon the way he did, and then building a team the way he did, oh, for sure, I can see it right now. they're gonna be like, okay, cool. Look, how we can get Shador to be the best quarterback for us? Cool. We're gonna get his dad in here. We're gonna find a good GM, and this team's gonna ball.
But I don't blame. But I don't think it's really the ball's fault because they're not giving him the pieces that he wanted because you could even hear last year that he wanted Jaden Daniels like bad. And, I'm not saying Malik was a terrible, pick because, he was still a good receiver. But, I mean, if he had at least a quarterback to build around, I mean, he'd probably be in a better position. But no, they still had fucking Daniel Jones.
I mean, Jaden Daniels also got picked up before him.
Yeah,
So
but I
that's
mean,
why.
then the Giants actually have a chance to trade up and get him, from what I've heard.
They tried to, but all three of the teams, including the Patriots, did not want to trade with the Giants.
Because they probably weren't. Because
they were all happy with the quarterback. It was Caleb Williams, it was Jaden Daniels, and it was Drake May. Those are three really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Hey, mark my words though. Drake May's gonna ball out this year. He's gonna ball out this year.
I'm not. I don't know. I didn't see anything this season, but I wasn't following college like that to say that anything about Shador now. Like, who are you comparing? Who are you comparing?
I would say,
yeah,
I would say he's similar to Russ in a little ways, because Russ was really good at working the pocket when he was back in the Seattle days. That's what made him so popular, and the way he's accurate about the passes, if you have like a really good run game behind him and a solid defense, Shador's going to take you places. Shador can still stretch the field just like Russ could. He's like a younger Russ, in my opinion. That'd be my example of him. He can scramble just like Russ could. He can work the pocket. He throws accurate passes. I see that. And he gets Malik Neighbors. Yeah. You tell me right now, Malik Neighbors and Shador aren't going to be balling in New York? Come on now.
I think they'd just be better. I mean, again, I'm not hating on Shador, but I think Cam would be the smarter choice. Cam's just a little bit better.
I don't think Cam's going to be there. I think Tennessee's not going with Will Levis. If you go with Will Levis another year, you're wasting a season. You're better off just putting Will Levis where he belongs and down the back of the bench and just put up Cam Ward out there and then build up the team. They still have like players on their team. They still got Calvin Ridley, and there's so many good wide receivers in this draft. They could literally draft somebody in the second round that's going to ball, or a good running back, because there's a bunch of good running backs in this draft as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see them taking the quarterback. I really think that they're going to buy into the Travis Hunter hype and get him first.
I'm not going. Just Travis Hunter going anywhere first for me just seems like you're.
Now I agree. The logical choice would be get Cam first and get him as your quarterback, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't want to draft a player that literally is trying to do two positions in a league.
I disagree. So here's the thing. If the Pacers did not win their last game against the Bills, they would have drafted him first overall, because he fits what the team needs. So it just depends on how the team wants to use him. It depends on how you want to utilize him. Now, you could do this, right? You could have him be your top-end corner and then have him in a few gadget plays on offense. It's very possible, and it's happened a few times in the NFL. A great example of that was Edelman. Edelman played corner and wide receiver in the same time.
Yeah, but that's I'm not gonna front. I just feel like that I respect Travis Hunter's athleticism and his game, but the thing is, he's asking for the league to announce him to be wide receiver and cornerback, the first ever in the league.
He's not asking the league to do it.
No, he's asking the announcer to say it's cornerback and wide receiver. It's like, bro, if he got drafted, first of all, if he got drafted number one to the Giants as a wide receiver to the Titans as a wide receiver / corner, he's getting smoked. He's getting. You know what?
I don't think so.
That's blatant.
So look, I don't think so. I don't think so. I honestly think that because one dude doesn't party like that, Even though he got that simple, even though he's sipping over his girlfriend, none of my business. Don't care. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, none of our, that's whatever happens to him.
But Kid's got a good mentality though. Like he knows what he needs to do, and I mean it might be crazy to say, but I mean, what he did in Colorado. I mean, I think he could do the same thing in Tennessee. Maybe not as good, but I think he could do it.
Honestly,
right now, the news.
I think it's that Mamba mentality.
I'll give him that Mamba mentality, but right now, the news right now is projecting him either going Browns number 2.
Yeah, I'm salty about that.
If he goes,
I want him in New England. I do.
yeah.
I'll take him in Green Bay. Fuck.
Shoot, and I know for a fact the Bengals, we can't afford him. Yeah, we can't afford him.
Yeah, y'all could, but y'all will use him as your secondary. More help.
Yeah, he would definitely be. We might have to turn him to safety. He'd be the last person line of defense.
What do you think? Do you think Cleveland's gonna try and get a quarterback, or do you think they'll get another skill position?
For them to drop Jameis already, for me, I'm like, who's their quarterback?
They picked up Joe Flacco.
They just picked up Flacco. Exactly. They just picked.
Yeah, they picked up Flacco.
Well, they still got Deshaun.
Oh my gosh, they picked up Flacco.
I don't even think Deshaun's coming back next year though, because he's still recovering from this injury, right?
Yeah, but he's still on the team.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still on the team.
And it's not like they can really pay anyone else because this contract's fully guaranteed. So even if they trade them or get rid of them, they still got to pay up. So that's why they have to, get a cheaper quarterback option.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm not gonna front. Joe
Flacco was not.
He's that dog. I don't care. He is the most underrated backup in the league.
Even at almost 40 years old, the dude still knows what he needs to do. And honestly, it's kind of crazy what he did with the Colts last year. Honestly,
he did a great job. But the thing is, I think Flacco should be the noise over Rodgers. I know I just big switch. We should not be talking about Aaron Rodgers right now over Flacco.
Rodgers is better though.
Watch him.
What do you mean? What I mean? Rodgers is a better quarterback than Flacco.
I mean, yeah, without a doubt.
I do not. I think they're both neck and neck right now, based upon Aaron Rodgers' season.
No,
I want to know what you're smoking.
That's
not over Aaron Rodgers. And it's not me being like the Green Bay bias or whatever, but the dude was still top 10 in almost every single statistical passing category last year. He just did not have. Outside of Devontae, he couldn't even throw to him because he had no fucking line to protect him, so he kept getting pummeled all the time. And he was still top 10.
I'm saying Joe Flacco's stats is still for a 40-year-old. Him and Aaron Rodgers right now, in my opinion, I believe they're neck and neck in my opinion. Not of all time. Not of all time. Not of all time. I'm saying post 40.
Mr. Miles, I'll buy you some glasses, sir. You need glasses, sir. Because you're blind. You're blind. There's no way.
You know what? I'm going to do it the last because Aaron Rodgers is 41. Joe Flacco's 40. If I'm going to do some research on this, but post 40 stats, I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
It's not even close. It's Rodgers.
Let me spare you the details. How many yards do you think Joe Flacco threw last year?
I'd say 500.
He's in the 4Ks. What?
I'd say 500.
1,761 tied for 34th in the league.
But also,
he didn't really start the whole season.
Aaron Rodgers didn't play at all stats-wise his 40th year, so...
Yeah, because he got injured.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and then he was 41, and he threw almost triple the amount of yards.
Okay, I apologize.
I don't know why we're arguing this right now, bro. What are we talking about here? What are we comparing Joe Flacco to Aaron Rodgers? What? What's going on here?
I definitely watch more.
Even toward Achilles, get me Aaron Rodgers over. I'm sorry, like.
You know, I 100% I can rely on Joe Flacco. I feel
See,
like I can't.
I'm starting to see why you're a Bengals fan.
You know what? The disrespect, is deserved. All right, I respect. The disrespect is definitely deserved in that one. I looked at the stats. Yes, absolutely. I apologize for my outburst.
Hey man, you about to sound like Skip Bayless out here.
That was definitely a.
There's a reason why he's not on TV no more.
Well, yeah,
outside of fucking Joy Taylor, but you know.
Yeah, he's Joy Taylor still. That's a whole nother. Oh, so all right, now we're gonna dive in those worms. All right, if y'all were the FS1 management, would Joy Taylor still have a job?
If she fucked me, yeah. I'm joking.
Let me clarify this right now. That man's wild.
Yo, the blatant. Hey, I'm not gonna
for these statements. They have to be proven first. I don't like firing people just off of like what was hearsay. It needs to be facts, and if there's real facts behind it, then yeah, she's getting fired.
Man, I'm not gonna front. We're on a freaking news. If we're a news broadcasting team and you bring negative publicity, period, to the team, you're out of there. Like, first of all, like you can't even bring negative publicity as a police officer to the department, and they like, hey, let's take you off of here. Like you move in the civilian light differently, and you're now caught doing that. You gotta go.
What do you mean? I mean, there's a bunch of instances of people doing that in sports casting, and they're good. They're good.
That's not an acceptable. That's not an acceptable answer. That other people do it.
No, but I'm the answer is this though, right? This is still hearsay. There's no facts behind it. There has not been anything proven yet, right? If there is like text and there's information being sent out and it was proven, then yes. But I'm saying right now we're going off somebody else's statement that we don't know why they're bitter about it.
We don't know why they're bitter about it, but I'm not even allowing that. Hey, do you have any communication that could be perceived as wrong surrounding these allegations? Well, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Now, if you're like, if it's lawyer game, nah, yeah. But first of all, FS1 ain't like ESPN. I know for a fact if it was ESPN and it was like, who's the person?
It's the mouse.
If it was Molly,
it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, if it was Disney, you out of there. You gone. You go FS1.
Disney's family friendly though. Fox is not really family friendly like that.
No. Plus, I don't know if this would be, but outside of the Pat McAfee show, I really don't watch ESPN anymore. Honestly, like it's kind of dead to me.
I definitely watch First Take. I'm not gonna front. First Take is like, especially during college season, and they go into different like universities.
If Shannon Sharp was on First Take, I'd watch it. But outside of that, no.
Yeah, Shannon. No, I'll still watch it for Stephen A. Smith because like he's pretty accurate on most of his takes. In my opinion.
Here's a debate. How do y'all feel about the Stephen A. and LeBron feud? Like, what's y'all's take on that?
But see, that's controversy too, right there. Your argument right there. He's bringing controversy. He's bringing negative light to your broadcasting statement, and he would have been fired.
No, that's completely different. That's not negative controversy. That was Stephen A. Smith literally saying, "Hey, LeBron got mad about what I said, but that's my job. I am literally only talking about people and their stats." And the thing is, if you're mad at me for me doing my job, no, you gotta go. Like that's a problem.
No, the problem was that he brought up the whole father dynamic of it and parenting.
Yeah, because I was going to ask. Well,
because he's right. I'm not gonna front. In my opinion, Stephen A. Smith is right on that. LeBron shouldn't have said anything about his son before he came to the league. Let his stats speak for themselves.
But
No.
let me ask this. Say you were in LeBron's shoes, right? And let's say I'm Stephen A. Smith, and I say that on national TV, like, hey, you need, like, this is before he even clarified any of the shit. But let's just say that I'm pleading to you as a father to stop this madness, be better, like, do your son better. Like, how would that make you feel?
I'm gonna be honest with you. How old's Bronny?
I mean,
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there.
No,
Bronny's
no.
Bronny's
All right,
over
I'll
the
put this right
age.
now. You
That's all
don't
I'm
you don't ever look. You keep it sports. You don't talk about somebody's parenting.
yeah, because I'll tell
That's
you,
what I'm saying.
if my son was 18 and I'm like 40 something or whatever, and someone's telling me I need to be better as a parent, I don't give a fuck how old he is. I'm squaring up. I'm
Nah,
like,
see, I'm not gonna.
he ain't gonna disrespect my family like that.
I'm not gonna say if that's his job to speak about. You're not gonna You're not gonna try to take somebody's First Amendment right to goddamn talk about it, especially if that's a job title and they are a commentator. You're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, don't be talking about my son." No. First of all, what Stephen A. Smith said was, "Hey, do not talk about your son before he comes to the league because that's going to bring your son into the limelight. If you don't want people talking about your son, don't bring them up. If you don't want them to talk about your family, don't bring them up. At the end of the day, you stay professional, you stay about the league, you stay about only sports. And from there, if your son gets drafted, guess what? We only talking about his stats. And if his stats is boo-boo, we're going to say he's boo-boo. And it's nothing personal about him. It's not personal about your family. It's not personal about your parenting. It's personal about bringing someone into the limelight that's didn't ask to be. And that's what happened. LeBron brought his son into the limelight, and Bronny didn't even ask to be. We weren't even saying anything when Bronny had the heart attack situation. We ain't even say nothing. Nobody said anything about who he was as a player in college because it was like, hey, listen, that's LeBron's son. He's balling.
They were.
No, like for me, it's like I didn't hear. I personally never heard anything about LeBron's son playing. LeBron's his other young son's balling out, and I see him on Facebook, and he even got a poster ass photo of him making a game winner shot, pushing the glasses up. I'm like, all right, that's cold. But the thing is, no one's talking about it because LeBron hasn't brought up. Yeah, my son's better than most of the people in the league right now. Bro, you don't. But
Bronny is though. Look, from what the people were saying in the league and what players were saying, that 50% of the league is not that good. Like as far as being that great, 50% of the league is not that good. So Bronny actually has been balling too, by the way, mind you. I'm not saying he's going to be anywhere near his father, not at all. But could he be a role player? Yes,
absolutely.
I'll say. Well, let me say this. I mean, if we're talking about him first getting drafted into the league, I wouldn't say he's better than half of the players. I would say he's better than a good chunk. But I wouldn't say half of the league. No, I mean
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what players were saying about him and all that. There's podcasts like with Paul George and all these other players like Gilbert Arenas. They talked about this stuff and they're like, yeah, he's better than 50% of the league. He just got to get used to the play time.
Like I think he definitely has potential, but I mean if you're getting if we're first talking about him being drafted, like if we're talking about this year, no. But I'm not saying that he can't have the potential to be better. I mean, he definitely has potential, and I'm kind of, and even if we drafted, I'm glad we drafted him in the second round, but, he's got to build up to it first. I mean, I'm not saying he's always going to be bad. I mean, I think he was a little rushed into the league, but I'm not saying he can't get there. He's definitely going to get there eventually.
And I think we all agree with that. He just needs to put in the work,
just playing the G League more, and
I agree. I 100% agree with that. Like we all agree, but that's what Stephen A. Smith said. He said Bronny should play in the G League rather than split time with the NBA. And then he said, I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stephen A. Smith said this on First Take, says, stop this. We all know Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. That 100%, that is facts.
I mean, that, look, that part, I will say I do agree with that. I do agree he is in the league because of his name. I mean, it's going to be the same thing with Carmelo's son. It's going to be the same thing with Dwayne Wade's son. You know, when they both get to that point too. You know, we know he's 55 for a reason. Like, now, I get that, but when you bring the whole "I'm pleading to you as a father," like, no, I'm sorry, like that shit would rub me the wrong way too, and I would say something too. I'm like, it's one thing to criticize, how it's one thing to criticize like his stats and like maybe how he plays or whatever, but you're not going to come up to me and say I need to do a better job as a father because I'm the one that got him to this point. Like that's my parenting.
I do agree. I agree with the parenting. It's just the public conversation about your son.
But then his mistake is that he waited until after the confrontation to try and say, "Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant, I meant it this way." But he didn't clarify that, and that's what
and
led to that whole confrontation to begin with.
And that's where, as and I say this all the time, as men, we should always be looking for a dialogue other than just confrontation.
It wasn't confrontation, though. Confrontation is a dialogue. At the end of the day, he walked up to him, he asked him what was up, and they talked about it. It's not like Braun put hands on him or anything like this. Like, honestly, this whole news article, whatever, is honestly just a bunch of nothing, personally, in my opinion. Because what does it really matter? Okay, yes, don't talk about people's kids. Easy enough. He talked about it, they talked about it, they said their piece. I mean, it was a non-issue, personally, for sports news.
Yeah, LeBron, I'm not gonna front. LeBron did, in my opinion, he looked like a very emotional father in the point. I know for a fact, even if that was my kid, hey, listen, we gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey man, let's talk after the game. That's just a straight up out of respect, because that's another man to another man. Hey, let me talk to you after the game just to make sure that we on the same page, because I don't want to spaz out. I don't want to be in the position of out of my character for an unjust or a conversation that could have just been had.
No, actually, I disagree, because if you're gonna make a public statement like that, it would have to be addressed publicly. It's like if you're doing public disrespect.
I agree.
And he did address it publicly with him, but he didn't call anybody up or make a report or talk to any news people. He went and found him and talked to him man to man.
Oh, I disagree, because when he went on the Pat McAfee show, I was like, that's a whack at.
But that was after, though.
That was after. That's what I said. After that was even whacker, because that's
the reason why he did it after is because Stephen A was going on every single news podcast and sports podcast and trying to clarify what he was trying to talk about that he wasn't clear about at first, and LeBron was like, okay, well you gonna sit there and talk and do all that shit, I can do it too, and that's exactly what he did.
You want to know the coolest player response backs that I remember growing up was when when Skip Bayless got confronted by
Richard Sherman.
See, that's the type of that's the type of stuff that I'd expect to see. Hey, listen, let me address you to your face. LeBron ain't do that, because LeBron ain't want that. He ain't want that.
He went personally to him. They talked personally about it.
No, I'm talking about in public, in the limelight. Go on ESPN, say your piece, and walk. It
was filmed publicly, and look, he was trying to keep it. He was trying to keep it chill, right? And then afterwards, because people saw the videos, LeBron talking to Stephen A, because it was done publicly. Stephen A then took the advantage, as the reporter should, then reported about the situation because he had firsthand knowledge of it. LeBron didn't like the fact that now he's trying to twist the words up and change it a different way. LeBron conversated his way. At the end of the day, dude, like I honestly feel like this whole situation out of sports is like one of the lowest levels of sports telling. Just in my opinion, like it's a nothing burger.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll say this, like I see both sides. I do see both sides, but it all started because he said something, then he waited after the confrontation to say, "Oh no, that's not what I meant." Well, you should have said that while you're on live TV. Like, don't wait until after he gets in your face and then correct it. You know what I mean?
Well, y'all, I think that's a good place to stop for the podcast. Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're an hour and something over for sure. But I want to keep going, but we're gonna end it. We're gonna have to end it here.
Bengals never keep going. We're good.
Shoot. Wow. Well, we all know the Pats ain't making it to the playoffs. Everybody put their bets in now.
Oh, we can bet that right now. I bet they'll make it farther than the Bengals this year.
See now I know you're lying. I'll put a bet on. I'm going to FanDuel right now. I'm putting the Bengals will win the Super Bowl. I'll put $20 on it. I bet y'all win $150 easy.
You win nothing, brother. You just lost $20.
Hey, listen,
FanDuel said thank you.
But everybody, hey, thank you for being a part of the Unfiltered Pineapple Podcast with Brandon, Noodles, and myself, Miles. Hey, we will catch y'all on the next one. Everybody say peace.
Peace.